Smacks of judicial activism, Nationals MP accused of contempt of court after Rocky Hill decision. Environment climate change courts be Esther HanFebruary 9, 2019, 1:46 p.m. A Nationals MPs claimed that the Land and Environment Court's decision to block a coal mine in his electorate reflected an ideological position and smacked of judicial activism has prompted a rival MP to accuse him of contempt of court. After the court on Friday rejected Gloucester Resources' bid to open the Rocky Hill mine on the mid-north coast because of climate change impacts, Nationals MP for the Upper Hunter Michael Johnson hopped on 2 gigabytes to vent his fury. Nationals MP for Upper Hunter Michael Johnson. Credit. Max Mason hubris. The show's host Chris Kenny said, "Here you have a judge in a NSW Land and Environment Court saying that he's protecting the planet from global warming, from climate change." Mr. Johnson replied, "They are taking an ideological position. Again, it smacks of judicial activism, and it has nothing to do with the merits of the proposal itself, and I'm very, very disappointed." Independent Upper House MP Jeremy Buckingham has fired off a letter to the registrar of the court saying he believes Mr. Johnson's comments may be in contempt of court and bring the court and its decisions into disrepute. Loading Chief Judge of the court, Brian Preston, had factored in the impacts of climate change when considering whether to approve the open-cut coal mine. Environmental groups rejoiced, but Mr. Johnson warned the decision would cause major economic harm to the little town of Gloucester, including the loss of the opportunity to create 170 jobs. Mr. Buckingham, who quit the Greens in December, said Mr. Johnson was contemptuous of climate science and urged him to retract his comments. Justice Preston's decision on the role of coal in fueling climate change simply reflects the basic facts of chemistry and the reality of climate change, he said. Gloucester residents are jubilant after their win in the Land and Environment Court in Sydney against the proposed Rocky Hill open-cut coal mine in Gloucester. The 8th of February 2019 photo, Janie Barrett. Credit. Janie Barrett. For Johnson to label them as ideology is ridiculous and wrong, but Mr. Johnson, who holds his seat with a margin of 2.2%, hit back saying that he did not care about Mr. Buckingham's opinions. He stands by his comments. "A judgment was handed down and I'm entitled to an opinion on that judgment just like any other citizen," he said. Upper House MP Jeremy Buckingham. Credit. Brooke Mitchell. John Watts, a retired barrister who lives in Gloucester and was heavily involved in the court case, accused Mr. Johnson of prioritizing the interests of a coal mining company over the interests of the community. "What is even more appalling is that he has chosen to gratuitously attack the credibility of the very senior judge who decided the case," he said. Mr. Watts will be a candidate for the NSW Upper House in the upcoming election, standing as an independent on Mr. Buckingham's ticket.